I've always had a thing for abandoned places, the kind of spots that still smell faintly like life, but have been left behind long enough to rot. Last summer, my friend Matt and I drove 2 towns over to explore an old psychiatric hospital that closed down in the 90s. The place was infamous among local kids, and I figured most of the rumors were exaggerated. The first thing that hit us when we climbed through a broken window was the stench of mold and chemicals. The walls were covered in peeling paint, and every step crunched with broken glass. Matt filmed with his phone while I led the way, trying to map out the maze of hallways. We found children's drawings still taped to the walls in one corridor, stiff with age, showing stick figures with sad faces. The deeper we went, the colder the air got. That's when we heard a faint metallic sound echoing down the hall, like something scraping against the floor. We froze. Neither of us spoke. Then Matt whispered that it might be a loose pipe. I wanted to believe him, so we kept moving. But in the old surgery wing, we found footprints in the dust. Fresh ones. Not ours. We turned to leave, but halfway back to the window, we heard hurried footsteps from behind us. We sprinted, hearts pounding, crashing through the glass into the night. Only once we got back in the car did we realize Matt had dropped his phone inside. He didn't go back for it. The next day, when we checked his iCloud, the last video uploaded was of us running. At the very end, just before he dropped it, there was a man's voice behind the camera whispering, "Don't come back." I was 15 when intuition revealed itself not as a light in the dark, but as a warning siren. Now, at 24, that night haunts me like a fixed melody. It started with a sudden pang while I was pausing a late-night Call of Duty match, a visceral cold in my chest. Nobody knows how that feels. So I shut my eyes and prayed it was nothing. Then came the dream. I stood in a dilapidated living room I'd never seen. Faint dust motes drifted in stale air. The furniture sagged under layers of cobwebs. My feet carried me forward, deliberate, silent, toward a white door at the base of crumbling basement stairs. "Please, take me out," whispered a voice sharper than glass. A girl's, innocent, terrified. I jolted awake, soaked in sweat, every nerve screaming. I whispered, "Too real," and forced myself to school. That afternoon I walked home by a less traveled shortcut. The neighborhood wasn't dangerous, but I wandered through fast. Then, I stopped dead. My chest seized, my breath froze. I was staring at it, the same run-down house from the dream. "Just keep walking," I told myself. But then the voice, that exact voice, echoed inside. "Please, take me out." Backpack abandoned, I struggled forward. I knew what I'd find. Inside I walked the decay, dust-roped furniture, hollow silence. Then, the basement, stairs rotting, the white door. I turned the knob, pulled it open. There she lay, a young girl, pale, still, eyes glassed over, life extinguished long before, and on the wall, smeared in rusty-crusted blood, "Take me out." Silence swallowed everything. My worst experience was exploring abandoned train tunnels outside the city. They stretched for miles underground, graffiti covering the walls, old tracks still in place. A few friends and I went during the day, thinking it would be safer. The deeper we walked, the less sunlight reached us. Our flashlights barely cut through the black. Every step echoed like thunder, and the air was damp and metallic. About 20 minutes in, we found a side room filled with rusted tools and old mattresses. Clearly someone had been living there. That's when we heard whistling. Not from our group, a low, slow tune echoing through the tunnel. My stomach twisted. There was no way to tell where it came from. We turned our lights off, crouching low, hearts hammering. The whistling stopped. For a full 5 minutes we stayed silent. Then came the sound of boots crunching on gravel, closer and closer. We decided to move, quick but quiet, heading back toward the entrance. But the footsteps followed, always just behind. When we finally saw daylight, we broke into a sprint. Only once we were outside did we look back. At the tunnel mouth, a man stood in the dark, holding something long in his hand, maybe a crowbar. He didn't chase us. He just stayed there, half in shadow, watching. None of us ever went back. And I don't think any of us slept well for weeks.